So I wasn't exactly sure how to go about starting this, so I figured I would just go ahead and wing it and see how it goes. The important thing is that I'm doing it. So, anyway, hello, my name's James, and welcome to my first ever video log. This is basically going to be a weekly thing, most likely on Sundays, and the purpose of this blog is basically to document the whole process that I'm currently going under with a few friends and my sister to, from start to finish, produce a video game. A bit of context then. I'm not a coder, I'm not a programmer, I have a fascination with it, I'm interested in it, I'm taking a course on the side on the weekends to learn Java, reading here and there, messing about on Unity basically. So the idea is that I'm sort of approaching this from a perspective where I don't have any sort of experience whatsoever in terms of actually coding things. You know, I graduated economics about 1.5 years ago, and you know, whilst I would like to move into more of a technical role, I think it's important to you know, basically study as much as you can on the side and hope for the best, really. But the important thing about this is, if you're someone who's, I guess, interested in video games, is interested in making video games as well, you know, it might be worth you checking out this vlog and seeing the journey of someone who is got no experience whatsoever in coding or programming, actually building something from the beginning to end. So, what comes with that is, I guess, the idea of, you know, where do you start sort of thing. So I say this week kind of marks the most important instance in actually making this video game, because of what happened on Saturday basically. So a little bit of context then. Looking to be producing this with my sister, who's going to be the art director, and 2 other friends, possibly a third. Now these 2 friends are actually developers, so you know, it's good in that respect. They're not game developers, but I'd imagine know various languages, and you know, that's their actual profession. So I think they're going to pick it up quickly, which is good. But no, what was important was the fact that this Saturday, me and those 2 friends actually sat down, had a mini meeting, and I explained to them the premise of our video game, the one that me and my sister basically thought of whilst we were on holiday actually we were on a family holiday last year in Malaysia. And we basically came up with an idea centered around the concept of geckos, basically, because we were inspired by the fact that you know, it used to crack us up a lot actually, but basically the geckos, you know, running around on various street lamps and bright screens at night, and they're hilarious. So we kind of thought of making a video game based on that. Without giving away too much, I guess sort of the sales pitch of the video game is, what did I say it was? So it's sort of a fast-paced, turn-based, competitive item collector with geckos. And yeah, we were aiming to get it on the App Store, basically. So it's going to be built in Unity. We made a small start on Saturday, and that we've started programming the movement, and it's going to be, you know, on a grid-based sort of thing. But no, that was really important because it was nice to actually sit down, you know, very professional about it. My friends Lomi and Jake, the developers, they're very easy to talk to. You know, they're really good at what they do, and yeah, it just felt really good to actually have a chat to people about building a game. And you know, it kind of felt like work in a way, like you were at work, but obviously it was doing something amazing that you love to do. Not saying that I don't like work. I think my work's really good, I'm happy with it, but you know, the real dream is to obviously build something, put your all into it, and see where it goes, and hopefully transition into that, you know, because the dream for me personally is to work in gaming. And to take one step further, it's because yeah, until fairly recently, I'd say, I always wanted to actually be, you know, just doing something in the industry, maybe I don't know, maybe a financial and managerial role, or something to do with project management. Just I wanted to be in the industry. I still do, But you know, after working where I work, I've been working in, I guess you could say, big data governance for the past year or so at a big bank in London. I'm not going to say which one. The point is that people I talk to there, you know, they give you a different look and a different perspective to things, and you're always trying to be, you're always being pushed, you know, to do your best, and you're tested quite a lot. So until fairly recently, I was basically inspired to not only get into the industry, but actually, you know, there's several ways to get into the industry, I imagine, but what could be better than entering the industry via actually building your own company and actually releasing stuff, you know, being in charge of it, you know, making the dream games and all that sort of stuff, because, you know, video games have been a huge part of my life since the age of about 5, so, you know, I still remember getting the first PlayStation, you know, playing, I think it was Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. Controversial opinion, but I actually really liked the first Star Wars Episode 1 game, which was, I think, the first game I ever received in my life. So, in fact, oh, okay, well, this is kind of a cool way, a cool, you know, way of going off track a little bit, but it's kind of fitting because it's the first blog ever, right? But that is officially... That's officially the first game I ever received in my life. I don't think it's the same copy, but you know, pretty cool. So yeah, I think probably the most challenging aspects of this whole thing is, well, obviously learning the tools, becoming resilient to distractions and whatever, and actually staying on track, defining the image enough, marketing, all this stuff. But like I said, I think the most challenging thing is going to be actually just sticking to it, you know. I really obviously want to do it, but motivation is something that can still falter even if you're going after something that is your passion, which it is. I guess that's one thing I'm a little bit worried about. I mean, the plan is to spend at least 2 to 3 hours every single day doing something dedicated to the game, really. So this week, what I'm going to be concentrating on is kickstarting the vlog, my personal vlog, which is hopefully going to give you guys an insight into exactly what we're doing. And at the same time, I'm going to start, obviously, another thing is that I'm writing a blog, so I'll put the link in the description if you guys fancy reading that. I started it yesterday actually because I was helping my sister and her friend sell at Comic-Con yesterday, MCM. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, focus, nice. And yes, also at the same time managed to see Cyberpunk 2077 being played on an Xbox One, you know, behind closed doors and all that. So that was amazing. Saw an hour of that. Fantastic. Yeah, at the same time I was writing my blog, basically sat at a stall, and yeah, so I'm just going to be editing that, putting that on a website, putting that link on the description, check it out if you fancy it. And yeah, I think, well, before I wrap this video up then, I think I might just quickly go into the 5 steps that I've written down, sort of giving myself a little tiny list of things, kind of more for the motivation to just keep me going and keep me on track sort of thing. So the definitely five things that I think are most important to keep this going are obviously start building the game. That happened on Saturday. Actually start physically building the game. My sister's also did some artwork for it for what she thinks it's going to look like. We'll link that in due course. Obviously marketing, the vlog, Instagram, the blog, you know, keeping this stuff updated, keep giving you guys an insight into my personal life, and you know, telling you about stories about what happens in the week, what I've produced, maybe showing it off a little bit. That'll be quite important too. At the same time, I'm going to be watching vlogs, obviously. I think that's quite important, and getting an idea of, you know, the process of going through developing a game, because it's super important. Learning Unity Engine, of course, becoming proficient at C#. I don't think I have to be like hugely technical, because I'm going to leave that to the lead devs, to Lomi and Jake, but I'm going to be sort of a go-between, I think. So one of the things, like I said, is I'm doing this week is building the menu, like having a go at building, like programming the menu screen. So that's something I'm going to do after this. And Same time, obviously, the networking, I think that kind of ties into marketing, so the social media aspect, Stack Overflow, GitHub, Reddit, YouTube. And above all, another thing is having a little bit of a look at the tools, the creation tools that are actually going to be built, that we're actually going to use. So like Photoshop for my sister. I don't know, I think I might just have a sit down one day and just have a look at what she's doing, just to give an idea, you know, just so I know a little bit more about what's actually happening. And yeah, just to wrap things up for this week then, that's basically what I'm working on. So I'm going to be having a go at the menu screen, editing this video as well, I think, you know, every Sunday or so, getting the blog done, and hopefully on Saturday as well, we are going to meet up and do some more building. So I'm going to record another video on Sunday, which I'm going to put up here, and I'll give you guys a little bit more insight into what's actually happened in the last week or so. So if you've enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, consider following all the videos on whilst we go on our journey. Obviously, moving forward into the future, I'm pretty certain that there's going to be instances where the vlog is going to be filmed maybe on site. When I say on site, I mean Lomi's house. You're going to get to see a bit more of the team, how things are going, all that sort of stuff. And at the same time, the most important thing I think is understanding and getting any criticism or any feedback from you guys, because obviously, whether or not you're a indie developer or successful AAA developer, that's cool too, obviously. But if you can, I want to have basically advice and criticism from everyone. So if you have any comments or any advice, or you know, any words to say about the plan so far and how things are going, because remember, once again, first time I've ever done anything like this, and I think that's the time to start. Please just leave a comment, you know, get in contact, and yeah, above all, just appreciate the fact that you've got to the end of this video as well, and I wholly appreciate your support. So as things go on, stay tuned for more, you know, more of a look into the game as it gets made, which will be called Time Flies, and you'll know a little bit more of that as time goes on. So thanks once again, cheers.